Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining us today across Sri Lanka and beyond. I am delightful to welcome you all to the Nature Talks webinar 2 under the Nature Talks webinar series 2026. Today, we gather here to observe and draw inspiration from world's most enduring innovator, the natural environment. This webinar series is proudly organized by gapHQ and it runs parallel to the third International Conference on Biomimicry for Sustainability 2026, which is a global platform designed to bring together scientists, academics, engineers, and architects to explore how nature's time-tested strategies can address today's prominent issues. We are pleased to announce that the deadline for paper calling has been extended. So we invite all researchers and practitioners to submit your abstracts under the several key thematic areas. For detailed information, please visit the official conference website at www.biomimicryconference.com. So before we move into the webinar series, I have to make few announcements for our valuable participants. We will be sharing the attendance sheets during this webinar series. So please mark your attendance using that form. You have to attend at least 3 webinars of this webinar series in order to receive the e-certificate. As well as, please only use the chat box during the question and answer session. So with those future milestones, let us move our focus on tonight's topic, nature's social intelligence for human communities. We have a distinguished and a well-known resource person to guide us through today's discussion. It is my absolute honor to introduce the resource person of this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor MTM Mahesh, the head of the Department of Sociology at the University of Colombo. Professor Mahesh has been engaged in his teaching, publishing, and other academic works in trilingual since 2000. He earned his BA Honours in Sociology from the University of Peradeniya in 1999, MA Research degree in Environmental Sociology from the University of Colombo in 2007, PhD in Water Resource Management from Postgraduate Institute of Agriculture in University of Peradeniya in collaboration with Crossing Boundaries Projects of the Netherlands in 2011. Postgraduate Diploma in Counseling in 2018 from the Faculty of Education in University of Colombo. He has published a number of research papers locally and internationally in the field of environmental sociology, water resource management, political ecology, development politics, human-wildlife conflicts, social harmony, and volunteerism. He has also held positions such as President of the Art Council of the University of Colombo, Senior Student Counselor for the University of Colombo, and President of Colombo University Teachers Association, and Postgraduate Coordinator for the Department of Sociology. Professor Mahesh has undertaken many international and local research projects and training in the field of political ecology, water politics, climate change, and human-wildlife conflict. Now I would like to hand over the session to Professor Mahesh. So the session is over to you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Can you all hear me well?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ms. Vasana. And also, I think, welcome you all for this platform where we can discuss things and learn it from each other. It's a good platform. We can say forum. And also, I must be grateful and thankful to Ms. Sadipa for coordinating these things, and also my colleague, Professor uh, Ranjit Disanayake, who has been very much interested in this kind of area and promoting new alternative platform for people to join and work together. So then, therefore, we know that we have more than 225 uh, participants, a good number. So we know that there are big demand for this kind of discussions. Nature's intelligence and how it influence so important for our day-to-day life. So we know that. So when it comes to my discussions, I am very much confident and always uh, comfortable to argue that nature is the most important thing in our life. Now, here we have to clearly understand and define what nature is. Sometimes it's not only the physical entity. I mean, the trees or animals or water or any other material or the surrounding environment. Even our uh, day-to-day social settings are part of the nature. Now, for example, even the society is part of the nature. Even our parental loves are part of the nature. Even our experience are part of the nature. So we simply call nature. In Sinhala, we say Sobadaham. Everything comes under nature. I mean, even mother's love, the morning sun, and also the even the hatred cannot be overcome by hatred. Everything. So therefore, it's a broader topic, broader theme. Now, we know as a scientist or people who are dealing with science, there are two type of science. And again, we know that there is an argument whether science is true or not. There is argument because we know that science is always being challenged, right? There are many knowledge that are found in nature. They are more powerful than the scientific knowledge sometimes. We will discuss that later. Anyhow, generally, we know that. I have been discussing this one and arguing this one. The nature is the best knowledge center, and the society is the best knowledge center. So we have two type of science. One we call natural science, the other one we call social science. So we'll say people who come from the natural science background, I mean physics, chemistry, biology, environmental science, they all come from the natural science or physical environment. Other part, we say psychology, management, and the sociology, economics, political science, these all are from social background. I mean the society and culture. So any discipline, any knowledge, any theory that we learn are the gift of the nature and the people. So people are also part of the nature. So therefore, we know that nature is the base for knowledge. People are the base for knowledge. Now, for example, we know some of the realities that we are dealing with as a physics or maybe chemistry or maybe environmental science. Now, can we expect more knowledge from a faculty of science more than a forest like a Singharaja? Can we expect more physics from an aircraft more than space? Sometime we know if we analyze the venom of a black mamba or venom of a tarantula, tarantula, we say Divimakulwa. So they are very powerful, very rich. Still, we don't know how to analyze them. So nature is always more powerful. people have explored science or new things by looking at the nature, right? Still, we don't know how some of the birds from Siberia, I mean, many miles away from Sri Lanka, they are coming or flying from there to here. Some of the turtles, which are, I mean, swimming from from the Western Australian part to Sri Lanka. So therefore, we are really, shocked to see. And also look at the human body. The human body is one of the best scientific lab. We can learn many more things. The brain, kidney, heart. Now you see, I am 53 years old now. 53 years old now. I was born 53 years ago, right? Still my heart is working. I don't know at what time it will be take a rest. When it take a rest, I will have to say goodbye to all of you and the entire nature and the people. So it has been functioning for the last 53 years, right? Roughly, we'll say 70 times per minute. So it's continuously functioning. No human machine can function like that, right? Our brain, our skin, childbirth, ovum, sperm, everything. I really, we can't imagine about that. So then the best university in the world is not a Harvard or Oxford or Cambridge or Peradeniya or Colombo. Although we call Colombo is the best university, Peradeniya or Moratowa may be second or first in another year. I think best university, human body may be a best university. Even 1,000 medical faculties cannot produce a one human body, right? So again, here we do have people from many different disciplines, maybe economics, management, law, right? You know that. So where does those theory come from, right? Where those theory come from, right? I think if I am allowed, I can share a little slides. Uh, can you see these slides? Can you see? I hope you can see, no?
Yes, sir, we can see
Yeah,
this.
you see this little guy, little boy. Uh, Look at the things around him. A tarantula, fruits, wild fruit, some of the fish, uh, some flies are there. So then these all provide him knowledge. At the same time, whatever the knowledge we have in our universities, university libraries, journals, books, today people are more concerned about the references, citations, many things, no? You see international index journals, right? Very valuable knowledge spaces, right? You see sociology, counseling, geography, management, law. Where do they come from? From where do they come from? Can anybody tell me where those knowledge come from? Can anybody? I don't know whether you have been not allowed to speak. Hmm? Because Sadipa, they are very technically sound. No, they might have closed down everything like a homos now. uh, so then, you know, these these knowledge all come from people. I have I have discussed these things even before in this same platform. This knowledge come from people. Now we'll see when you go to a farmer, when you go to a fisherman, when you go to a poor woman, or maybe a laborer, we go and talk to them. We collect data. We analyze them. We convert them into what? Sometime data. Then we consider them as concepts, themes. Then look at these slides. Can you see these slides? Vasana? Vasana is
Yes, sir.
permitted? No?
Yes, sir, it's okay.
Now, basically, we have concepts with the people. Poverty, uh, justice, depressions, All these things are found with people, right? Day-to-day life of the people. So then we convert them as a variable. Then we convert them as hypothesis theories, and later they become philosophies. So whatever the knowledge data we have in books, journals, and libraries today, they are like a storing of the life of the people and experience of the people. කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය මිනිස්සුන්ගේ ජීවිත ගෙනල්ලා තමයි අපි පුස්තකාලවල සංග්‍රහවල වල පොත්වල ගබඩා කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් මිනිස්සුන්ගේ දුක වේදනාව සතුට කඳුළු තමයි ඔය පොත්වල සංග්‍රහවල වල න්‍යාය සංකල්ප කියලා තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේ මිනිස්සු නැත්තම් කොහොමද මේ දැනුම එන්නේ? Right? So then we know that it is the nature and the people that provide platform or foundation for knowledge, right? So then now we want to go to what is intelligence. What is intelligence? What is the difference between intelligence and knowledge, right? Now today we have scientific intelligence, AI, artificial intelligence. We have many things, right? Technological things. Then what is the real intelligence? Now, some people just say in their day-to-day life, some all educated people are not intelligent. All intelligent people are not educated. Sometimes we know that our parents, they are not graduates, right? Some of our teachers who taught in school, they may not be graduates, but they are intelligent enough to teach us, right? So there is a difference between knowledge and intelligence. So knowledge is something objective that can be measured in an objective manner. It is very much related to some kind of achievable sort of learning material. Now, passing exams, maybe some achievement of some scientific target and analytical minds. But intelligence is something different. We know that especially when it comes to some of our ancestors or our we say forefathers. So they had a very different skill and capacity. So we can simply say that it is a kind of a capacity, mental capacity. Intelligence is a kind of a mental capacity. It is a kind of a capacity of special capacity of acquiring knowledge, right? We have seen some teachers, some doctors, right? Some of our colleagues who are engaged in business, they have that capacity. So that is kind of intelligence. And also people, they should be able to understand the situations and the problems. We know that some people are very educated. You see, for example, in Sri Lanka, around 300,000 or more than 300,000 people have committed suicide in this country. And maybe 400,000 people have committed suicides for the last 50 to 60 years' time. And, now the IP Inspector General of Police says, now the accident death rate has increased from 7 to 10 every day. Can you imagine? 10 people every day dies because of the road accident, right? I have been talking very much about this drowning death in Sri Lanka. Last 2 weeks, around 20 people died because of the drowning. ඒ කියන්නේ මිනිස්සු ගොඩක් අය දියේ ගිල්ල මැරෙනවා. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අවුරුද්දකට 800ක් විතර මැරෙනවා. ඒතර හිතා ගන්න සමහර අවුරුද්දවල 1000කුත් මැරලා තියෙනවා. Right? So, so sometimes millions of tourists come to Sri Lanka. They always engage in some aquatic water games, but they hardly die. Right? But Sri Lankan, those who are always dealing with water, right? But why? Why? And why road accidents are high? Right? So the problem is, I don't know whether we have poor intelligence. Although we are dealing with not nature, although we interact with nature every day, we don't know how to harmoniously exist with nature. Hmm? Uh, in Sri Lanka, we have more than enough. Now, Sri Lanka is a country having more natural resources. I'll show you the picture. Can you see this picture, Vasana?
Yes, sir, we can see.
We do have more than 105 varieties of snakes in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a wonderful country having good natural resources. I mean, snakes are one of the resources we have. All these snakes are not venomous. Only 5 or 6 or 7 varieties of snakes are venomous. Most of them are not venomous. But the snake bite rate is very high in Sri Lanka. One of the most common hospital admission in Sri Lanka. Sometimes it says around 60 to 80,000 people are admitted to hospital every year. So the death rates are very high in the past. Now, because of the antidote, we can just manage them. So you can imagine why we can't develop the intelligence to protect ourselves from these snake bites. Why? So there is a problem there. And also crocodile attack, human wildlife, human elephant. Can you imagine? In Sri Lanka, so far, we have killed around 8,000 elephants. We have killed 8,000. It's not a small number. 8,000. Can you imagine? They also have killed around 3,500 humans. So most of the foreigners, they come here to see elephant, dolphins, birds. So they want to enjoy with the nature. They want to improve their intelligence through the nature. So I met a couple. I met a couple from Netherlands. He spent quite a lot of time in Singaraja forest, maybe weeks or 2 weeks. I asked why. He says, ecotherapy. Nature is a therapy to me. Nature is a therapy to me. When I spend times in the forest or in the thick jungle or forest, I get healed myself. I forget about all my problems and grievances. I naturally get healed. Look at that. It's you don't need to go to a counselor. You don't, because it's a natural meditation. They say, I hear the sounds of the birds. I hear the sounds of the waterfalls. I hear the sounds of the insects. I don't know whether you remember the Red Indian Chief Seattle, Red Indian leader, Chief Seattle, when he write a letter to American president, not the Donald Trump, Abraham Lincoln at that time. So he writes a letter. He says, because the then president asked Red Indian, because the land of the USA did not belong to Americans. It belongs to Red Indians. Even Americans are not original dwellers of that country. They are British people. So if Red Indians have refused to accept British people, what would have been the situation of today present Americans? So when the US president asked them to give their land to them, he writes a letter. back to the US president. He says, what is their life in cities? What is their life in cities? It is painful to my eyes. I am a savage. I do not understand. Your ways and our ways are different. කියනවා මේ අපි කොහොමද මේ ගම්බිම් දාලා එන්නේ? ඔයාලා අපිට නගරයට එන්න කියනවා. කොහොමද එන්නේ ඔයාලගේ නගරයට? ඔයාලගේ නගරයට ඇවිල්ලා ජීවත් වෙනවා කියන්නේ ඇහැට ඉලි කට්ටෙන් අයිනවා වගේ. මට හිතා ගන්න බෑ මම වැද්දෙක්කින්ද වෙන්නද මට එහෙම හිතෙන්නේ ඔහු කියනවා. ගෝත්‍රික නායකයා. ඔහු කියනවා. The argument of the frogs in the lakes. The waipu will cry of the birds. The body heat of the pony. All these are part of my life. රෑට ගෙම්බෝ තර්ක විතර්ක කරනවා නේද? අහලා තිනේ. පොඩ්ඩක් වැස්සහම ගෙම්බෝ කෑ ගහනවා. එක එක සද්ද දානවා නේද? අර සමහර මිනිස්සු කියනවනේ පොඩි ගෙම්බෝ පිලිප් කියනවලු, සාමාන්‍ය ගෙම්බෝ පැට්‍රික් කියනවලු, සමහර ගෙම්බෝ බෙනඩික් කියනවලු. මන් දන්නේ පොඩි ළමයි එහෙම කියනවා. එතකොට මෙයා කියනවා ගඟක සද්දේ වැටෙනකොට it is voice of my grandfather. It's not just a sound, it's a voice of my grandfather. That sound is murmuring words of love into my ears, he says. ඒ කියන්නේ ගඟේ දියැලි වල ශබ්දය මගේ කනට ඇවිල්ලා කොඳුරලා ආදරේ කියා දෙනවලු. කොච්චර ලස්සනද බලන්න. අපිට මේවා තේරෙන්නේ නැහනේ. අපිට මේවා තේරෙන්නේ නැහනේ. සුද්දා ඇවිල්ලා කියනවා උඹලගේ කැලෑ කොච්චර ලස්සනද. කොච්චර කුරුල්ලෝ ඉන්නවද, කොච්චර රැහැයියෝ ඉන්නවද, කොච්චර මාළු ඉන්නවද. හරි. දැන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් එහෙට මෙහෙට බඩු මුට්ටු හොයලා යන එක්කෙනෙකුට මුළු නගරේම හැම තැනම ඇවිදිනකොට කොච්චර අමාරුද කියන්නකෝ. දැන් අපි බලන්න ඕන මේ කොටි බලන්න එක තැනකට යන්න ඕන, වලස්සු බලන්න තව තැනකට යන්න ඕන, කුරුල්ලෝ බලන්න තව ඩොල්ෆින් බලන්න, වේල්ස් තල්මසුන් බලන්න. දැන් ලංකාවට ආව කියන්නේ සුපර් මාකට් එකට ගියා වගේ. ඔක්කොම එක වහලයක් යට බලාගත්තා හැකි. ඔව්. nature ඔක්කොම එක වහලයක් යට. කඳු, දියැලි, ගංගා, මුහුදු බලන්නකෝ. වනාන්තර, සත්තු, සමනල්ලු, බත්කූරු වර්ග කොච්චර ඉන්න. How many varieties of dragonflies we have? My goodness. More than 200 varieties of frogs. I don't know whether you know them. We had 40 varieties of mangoes in this country. 40 varieties. More than 35 to 50 varieties of bananas and mandarins. So nature can provide you intelligence more than the knowledge. So then, no argument. That is why foreigners come and stay in this country. They know that intelligent means not just acquiring knowledge. Intelligent people should be or must be able to understand the situation and understand others. And they also should be able to solve the problems. Yeah. They should be able to solve the problem. උගතුන් කෙසේ වෙසත් බුද්ධිමතුන්ට පුළුවන්කම තියෙන්න ඕන අන් අයව තේරුම් ගන්න. අවස්ථානුකූලව වෙනස් වෙන්න. මම දන්නේ බුදුදහමේ කියනවා අවස්ථානුකූල ප්‍රඥාව කියලා. ඒ තැනේ හැටියට වෙනස් වෙන්න. මිනිස්සුන්ගේ ප්‍රශ්න තේරුම් ගන්න. ඒවත් එක්ක ජීවත් වෙන්න. So that is intelligent. So nature provide that. Nature provide that because nature provide a barrier. Because people දැන් අපේ එහෙම වෙන්නේ නැහනේ. අපි nature පාලනය කරන්න යනවා දැනුම පාවිච්චි කරලා. We try to control the nature by using the knowledge. So that is what happened to Ditwa. You see what happened? Mountain did not come to the sight of the people. Rivers did not come to the backyard of the people. කඳු ගෙවල් මිනිස්සු ගාවට ආවේ නැහැ. ගංගාවල් අපේ ගෙවල් පිටිපස්සට ආවේ නැහැ. අපි තමයි ගංගාව ළඟට ගියේ. අපි කඳු පාමුලට ගියා. නේද? නේද? කඳු පාමුල ඔබේ සෙනිය අසරව මේවා කියලා සින්දු ලිව්වට නේද? නේද? ඒක නෑනේ. එතකොට මොකද කරේ? මධ්‍යම කඳු කරේම හොදගෙන ගියා එකපාර. නේද? ගංගවල් ටික ගංගාවල් 103ක් තියෙනවා ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ. ඒවා සුපිරි ගංගවල් ටිකක් තියෙනවා. If you critically look at the rivers we have, some of the countries in Middle East, whether it is Israel or Iran or Iraq or Saudi Arabia, not even a single river you have. In Dubai, UAE, people think that it is the heaven. මේ ලෝකේ ස්වර්ගය කියලා හිතන ඩුබායි වල වහින්නේ නැහැ. ගඟවල් නැහැ. වැව් ලස්සන උද්‍යාන තියෙනවා කෘතිමයි. නේද? දියැලි තියෙනවා කෘතිමයි. කොහොමද ලංකාවේ? එතකොට ලංකාවේ ගඟවල් තියෙනවා තෙත් කලාපයෙන් පටන් අරන් තෙත් කලාපයෙන් ඉවර වෙන ඒවා. කැලණි ගඟ, වලවේ ගඟ, නිල්වලා ගඟ. නේද? තෙත් කලාපයෙන් පටන් අරන් වියලි කලාපයෙන් ඉවර වෙනවා තියෙනවා. මහවැලි, දැදුරුවය, කලාවය වගේ ඒවා. නෑ කලාවය නෑ. සමහර ඒවා තියෙනවා වියලි කලාපයෙන් පටන් අරන් වියලි කලාපයෙන් ඉවර වෙනවා. නේද? ඒ කියන්නේ මල්වතු ඔය වගේ ඒවා. ඒතර කොච්චර එහෙම විවිධ ගඟවල් නැහැ. විවිධ මුහුදු තීර නැහැ. ඒ ඔක්කොම අපිට දැනුම ලබා දෙනවා. ඒ දැනුමේ ප්‍රමාණය අපි දන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ දැනුම කියන්නේ if you take a fisherman not only catch fish from the sea, he also learn from the sea. It's called marine ecology. Right? A fisherman knows many things about the marine ecology or marine biology. More than a scientist. විද්‍යාඥයෙකුට වඩා දියවරෙක් මුහුද ගැන දන්නවා. ඔහුට කියාගන්න බෑ. ඔහු සංකල්පනීයය දන්නේ නැහැ. ඔහු මුහුදත් එක්ක බොහොම සාමකාමී ජීවිතයක් ගත කරනවා. මම හිතන්නේ සේන නානයක්කාර සින්දුවක් ලියනවා කපුගේට. ඔයාලා අහලා තින් මාරියාවේ කියන. මාරියාවේ අහලා තියෙනවද? ලස්සන සින්දුවක්. ඒක කියනවා නුඹත් ඔහොම ඉඳපන් අපිත් ඔහොම ඉන්නම්. අපිට නම් ඔබ කරදර කරන්න එපා. අපි උඹට කරදර කරන්නෙත් නැහැ. නේද? වලාලයට කියලා කියන්නේ. අපි නේද? ඒ කියන්නේ මුහුදට කියනවා උඹ අපිට වද දෙන්නත් එපා. අපි උඹට වද දෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. It's a harmonious relationship. That is the intelligence. That is intelligence. Right? But we don't have that intelligence, no. If you go to Colombo today, if you go to Colombo, you know, so I will show you a simple slides. What is happening to our water? What is happening to our water in Sri Lanka and other countries? You know that water is badly polluted in Sri Lanka. Give me 1 second. I will show you a slide. This is the situation in Sri Lanka today. Can you see this one? I don't know whether you can see, no, Vasana?
So we are still in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we can see, sir.
Look at the conflicting situation in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a water planet. We have around 80 large tanks and reservoirs. 18,000 small tanks and irrigation. More than enough rain. Dug wells. Sea. But we don't have water. Water cuts are there. අද වෙනකොට කොළඹට වතුර නැහැ, සමහර තැන්වලට වතුර නැහැ. ඇයි ඒ? සබාදහමත් එක්ක සහයෝගයෙන් ජීවත් වෙන්න දන්නේ නැති බුද්ධිය නැහැ අපිට. බුද්ධිය නැහැ අපිට. So you don't have that intelligence. But our ancestors, they had the intelligence. Look at the Express Pearl incident, you remember? Express Pearl incident. And look at the plastic pollution. Look at these pictures. I myself took these two pictures. Look at this picture. This is one of the picture I took for my PhD studies. බලන්නකෝ ඒ ගඟට රිසර්වේෂන් තියනවාද කියලා. කොහෙද තියෙන රිසර්වේෂන්? මේ මහවැලි ගඟ අයිනට දාලා තියෙන කුණු තියෙන්නේ. How can we take the where is the intelligence? Where is the intelligence? Right? So now what is the result? Look at the result here. Our ancient people, our grandfathers, grandmas, they drank water from rivers and irrigations, canals. On ඇලෙන්දොලෙන් ගංගාවෙන් වතුර බිව්වා අපේ මුතුන් මිත්තෝ. උන් හොඳ බුද්ධිය පාවිච්චි කරා. සබාදහමත් එක්ක ගනුදෙනු කරන විදිය හොඳට පාවිච්චි කරා. අපේ අම්මලා තාත්තලා ලිඳෙන් වතුර බිව්වා. අපි ටැප් එකෙන් වතුර බිව්වා. නල ලිඳක් දාගෙන. අපේ ළමයි බෝතලෙන් වතුර බොනවා. අද හැමතැනම බෝතල් වතුර ඒකෙත් එක එක වෙරයිටිස් තියෙනවා. හොඳ එක, මැද එක, නෝමල් එක. තව අවුරුදු 25ක් යනකොට ලංකාවේ පාමසි වලින් වතුර කරල් ගන්න වෙනවා කියලා මතක තියාගන්න. අපි ඒ කාලේ නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. සමහරක් ඔයාලා ඉඳීවි. මොකද the contradictory relationship with the nature. Overconsumption of water, pollution of water. Right? Today people are fighting for oil. In another 25 years' time, people will fight for water. So no intelligence. Intelligence is not to exploit everything and enjoy the things. Intelligence is use them in a harmonious manner. ඒ කියන්නේ මාළු ටික ඔක්කොම අල්ලගෙන කාලා, සත්තු ටික මරාගෙන කාලා, කැලෑ විනාශ කරලා නේද? එතකොට කයිය ගහලා තියෙන වතුර ටික ඔක්කොම නාස්ති කරලා ඒක බුද්ධිය නෙමෙයි. ඒකට කියන්නේ කුරුවල් වූ දැනුම කියලා. ඉස්සර අපට දැන් අපි බැලුවොත් එහෙම මේකයි මෙතනින් පස්සේ සබාදහමත් එක්ක අපි තව චුට්ටක් ඉස්සරහට ගියොත් එහෙම again we are coming back to this one. Look at these insects. Can you see these insects, Vasana?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Yeah, bees. People say when there is no bee in a country or society, that is the end of the world or end of the nature. Because bee is one of the balancing animal. What do we know about the bees? What do we know about these animals? Small spiders. I don't know whether you know these fireflies, Khana Madriya. I don't know whether you see Khana Madriya in your area now. දැන් එහෙම ගන්නෑ. දැන් අර නිහල් නෙල්සන් මහත්තයාගේ සින්දු විතරයි ඉන්නේ අහිංසකයි එළිය බෙදයි ළමා ලපටියන්ගේ කියන්නේ. At least people in the past, they always protected the nature and protected their life by connecting the nature and the art through the intelligence. කියන්නේ සබාදහමයි බුද්ධියයි කලාව හරහා එකතු කරා වුම් බොහොම ලස්සනට. They connected the nature and the intelligence through art. So look at the songs, look at the films, right? Now, most of the works done by our ancient people, I mean, I don't know. Have you seen, you know what is this? You know what is this? Can you see this one? Can you see? Madol Duva. Can you see, no, Vasana?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Madol Duva, Muhudu Puttu. I don't know whether you have watched that Muhudu Puttu drama. The nature and the art is connected through the intelligence. There is a nice song. What is that song? Can anybody tell me? What is that song? We'll see whether you have that knowledge of intelligence. Knowledge of intelligence.
Moodu Patula යට ඉඳලා.
Yeah, very good. Bandara, thank you. Moodu Patula යට ඉඳලා. Look at that. That song tells about the very important critical story about the two fishermen. Two fathers, one mother. Very pathetic story. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ බොහොම අමුතුම ලයිෆ් එකක් තියෙන. හැබැයි කලාවෙන් බුද්ධියෙන් එක පාලනය කරනවා. ධර්මසිරි බණ්ඩාරනායක. Most of his films are shooted in the dry zone. සුද්දීලාගේ කතාව. දඩබිම්මට. So I don't know whether Suryarna film, totally natural intelligence, how to develop a harmonious relationship and Hogana Pokuna. Because our past generation were very intelligent, I would say. I would say they are intelligent than the present. No argument. Although we have laptops, tabs, smartphones, AI, no, we are not that intelligent. We are not all-rounders. Our life is not that balanced, of course. Our ancestors are very balanced. They had everything. They enjoyed. They had a good family life, good kinship relationships, spiritual ideology, relationship with the nature. Look at the Sinhala New Year, Sinhala Hindu New Year rituals. What a wonderful thing it is. Most of the games we had, it interact with the nature, right? And also it promote the social relationships. Most of the games are collective games, right? Even poor people, low-caste people, socially marginalized people given a chance. Why do we want to have the Greece tree? I Greece ගහේ කොඩිය ගන්න උත්සවයක් තියලා තියෙන්නේ. හිතලා බලන්නකෝ. මොකද පොල් කඩන ඒ කර්මාන්තයේ නිරතලා ඉන්න මිනිස්සුන්ට තරංගයක් තියෙනවා එතන. නේද? එතකොට කොට්ට පොරේ ගහන මිනිස්සයා. Look at the culture. This is called cultural ecology. This is a cultural ecology. It's a wonderful thing, I think. I think we are rich in nature's intelligence. Right? So, I can imagine about the film Suryarana. Now, I don't know whether you have watched the Avatar, no? Avatar, no? How do we say Vasana? Avatar?
Avatars.
Avatar. Okay. Avatar. ඒ ෆිල්ම් එකත් සොබාදහම ගැන තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි ඒක artificial intelligence. But our film is more sound. Even if you go South Indian, some of the films, some of the Tamil films, some of the Malayali films, they are very rich in natural intelligence. So if you look at these people, you know who are they? We know Pemakirti, Kapugeya, like Karunasena Jayalat, Titus Totawatta. Look at the Titus Totawatta, my goodness. Most of his translations, right? The Dostara Hondahita and the Pemakirti Dalvis. So therefore, our artists use the nature's intelligence as much as possible. Because they are attached to nature and attached to people. Please switch off your mics. Now, Karunasena Jayala, he is from Pokunuvita, Piliyandala area. You have seen, you might have experienced most of his novels, right? Most of his novels. Can you read these two? I'm sorry, I'm bringing this one in Sinhala. Very sorry. What is this? Sadipa, can you read the first one? Hmm? Hmm? Can anybody, Vasana?
Yes, sir.
What is this?
ලස්සන ඇස් තියෙන ගැහැණු ළමයින්ගේ ගොළු හදවත පිරුණු හදක් කරන්න ගිහින් හතුරු සිත් ඇති කරගන්නට.
What is that? Hmm? The senior people might know. Maybe juniors, they don't know sometimes.
Films.
Huh? What is this Lakmini?
Film. Laknima.
Laknima. What is
Films.
Laknima? These are?
Films. Films.
Yeah, these all
All
are,
films.
films means all are novels.
Novels.
You know novels. All these novels, Lassanas, Gahanu Lamai, Golu Hadavata, Pirunu Hadak, Haturusit, all these novels, by using all these novels, I made a sentence. In all these novels, you see, you learn the nature. You share the love through the nature. If you see the Gamperaliya, if you see the Apegama of Martin Vikramsinghe teach us many things. The nature culture relation, intelligence. Look at the T.B. Ilangaratna's Ambayalu. My goodness. It teaches the nature, the intelligence, the social relationships, friendship. So we have to bring them to our children. The next para is Kandegedara Kadulanga Vedahamine Kumarihami, Palingumenike Asal Vasio Samaga, Bogala Soundriske, Dudaruanta Banimingin. Just I wrote a sentence. Sorry if I did this. These all are teledramas. Kandegedara, Kadulla, Vedahamine, Kumarihami, Palingumenike, Asal Vasio, Bogala Soundris, Dudaru. So most of these teledrama, like Danubas Namane. So we learn, we get the knowledge or intelligence from the nature through these things. But today it's not the way. Now we'll say intelligence means understanding others, understanding other problem, helping others, solving their problem, almost equal to counseling. You know, there's one of the interesting writer called Ranbanda Senevira. My goodness. He's a wonderful man from Rajarata, Anuradhapura Central. Right? He wrote many songs about the nature. Most of his songs are based on Rajarata social ecology. Again, Rajarata Swabhavika Parisara Paddhatiyen තමයි ඔහු ගීත හදලා තියෙන්නේ. උල්ලලේනු දවසක් පැල නැති හේනේ පබලු නගේ නාමල් තිලකේ සුමනෝ උඹයි නැත්තේ ලඳුනේ අරන් බලන්න ඔගේ කොච්චර ලස්සනද කියලා. So nature is used to educate people. Right? Nature is used to educate people. Even other, like Ratnasri sir, we have to wish him for a long life. Bimbarak Senaga Gavasunu, Ratnasri sir. And, Lenchina Nangi, and many songs like that. Even Kulratnari Vansa sir. He writes many songs. Sara Sande, Iruge Lovedi. So then, most of our people, even if you take Gange Amaran, Ilayaraja from India, I don't know any Tamil speaking people are here. Anyone? I don't know. Yeah. Have you watched the film called Maunaragam by Mani Ratnam?
Yes. Very good film.
Yeah.
Mani Ratnam.
Yeah. Okay. That film gives a total intelligence of how to understand your partner, how to deal with your partner, right? Because you can't imagine about some of those things. So therefore, art is one of the powerful bridge between nature and intelligence, right? So therefore, we have to understand that uh, even if you go to the global level, like we know, especially look at these birds in Sri Lanka. There is a one bird called weaving bird, Vadukurulla. In Tamil, we say Tookanankuruvi, right? You see, these birds make their nest a kind of in a balance between the hot and wet, right? The people in Rajarata area, they know what amount of rain they will receive by looking at the level of the nest this bird put up. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ වඩු කුරුල්ලා තමුන්ගේ කූඩුව හදන මට්ටම බලලා තමයි ගොවියෝ තීරණය කරන්නේ වහින්නේ කොච්චරද කියලා. ඒතර ඒ මිනිස්සුන්ගේ අමුතුම ජීවිතයක් තියෙනවා. මොර සූරන වැස්ස. නා කපන වැස්ස. So still we don't know many things. Still we don't know what is happening. Right? But unfortunately, most of these are gone. Look at these animals. A fish gone means a knowledge system goes. එක මාළුවෙක් නැති වෙනවා කියන්නේ සමස්ත දැනුම පද්ධතියක් නැති වෙනවා කියන එක තමයි. Right? අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම ලංකාවේ එහෙම විශාල වශයෙන් සත්තු මැරෙනවා. Then when you look at these animals, what is this animal? What is this one? Can anybody tell me? What is this one right top of the corner? What is that? Huh? In Sinhala? How do we say in English? I am not a zoologist. Huh?
Andundivya.
Andundivya, very good. In English, we say fishing cat. Fishing cat. Upusek neme. So, it's a very important animal. Andundivya, jungle cat, Koladivya, right? Naria. What is the importance of jackal? Why jackal is important? I nariyo වැදගත් වෙන්නේ ලංකාවට. ගොඩක් අය අපිට අපේ පරණ මිනිස්සු නරියන් පිළිබඳ ඔවුන්ගේ සංස්කෘතියක් තිබුණා. නරියා හිටියේ කොහෙද? Where the jackals are there? Time is going to be over, but I will quickly finish. Jackals were in between the forest and village. ඒ කියන්නේ නරියා හිටියේ කැලේ සහ ගම මැද්දේ. බෆර් zone එකේ. මැද කලාපේ. ලඳු කැලෑවල් වල. නරියා තමයි වන සතුන් අම්වදින එක නැවතුයි. ඒ විතරක් නෙමෙයි. නරියා තමයි වඳුරන්ව, වල්ලූරන්ව, දඬුලේන්ව, මොනරුන්ව විශාල වශයෙන් දඩයම් කළේ. දැන් නරියා නෑ දැන්. මොකද නරියා අපිට එපා වෙලා. නරියා මූසලයි. right? අද සත්තු පිළිබඳ හැඟීමක් නෑ. මම දිනපතා හයිවේ එකේ යනවා. ඉස්සර අපි දැකලා තියෙනවා මේ අපි කොහේ හරි යනකොට මගදොටේදී ලේනෙක් හරි පූසෙක් හරි මයිනෙක් හරි වාහනයකට වැදුනහම අපි බහැලා ඌව නවත්තලා වතුර දීලා බේර ගන්න හදලා බැරි මොනොත් ඌ මැරුණොත් එම සමාව අරගෙන සත්තුන්ගෙන් ඌව වල්ලා තමයි අපි ගමන යන්නේ. එහෙම තමයි මම දැකලා තියෙන්නේ. That is how I have seen people never run over an animal. But today look at the highways. උදේ පාන්දර හරිම අමාරුයි සමහර දාට යන්න. සත්තු වැදිලා සත්තුන්ගේ ඇඟ උඩින් වාහන යනවා. හිතා ගන්න බෑ. ඒක මිනිසුන්ට ගානක් නෑ. මැරෙනවා විතරක් නෙමෙයි මැරෙන එක සාමාන්‍ය දෙයක් කරලා ඒක ළමයි බලන් ඉන්නවා. We kill animals and we go over them. Children are looking at them. The serious problem is we lose the sensitivity. We get inhumanized. සත්තු මැරෙනවා අපි තිරිසන්නු වෙනවා. We kill animal, we become brutal. I don't know what's going to happen. So where the intelligence is? Where the intelligence is? What is happening to our intelligence? මේ ළමයි බලන් ඉන්නවා. අවුරුද්දට අලි 450ක් මරනවා ලංකාවේ. අවුරුද්දට අලි 450ක් මරනවා. කොහොමද? එතකොට උගුඩුවා, කලවැද්දා. උන්ගෙන් අපිට කරදර තියෙනවා. ඒ කරදර වෙන්න හේතුත් අපි තමයි. So therefore, our intelligence is going away. Our crocodile, my goodness, we want to have a crocodile. We are having around 2,000 crocodiles. We need to have around 5 to 7,000 crocodiles. Right? If we are intelligent, we have to protect them. We have to conserve them. We have to live with them. We have to live with them. Right? So nature is the knowledge. So finally, we know that the indigenous knowledge, still we don't know what is happening. Very recently, I went for an international conference on indigenous knowledge. Because scientists are now telling that there are many things in the indigenous knowledge. Again, සුදේශීය දැනුම. අපි දන්නේ නැහැ මොනවද තියෙන්නේ කියලාවත් ඒකේ. තාම අපි අතපත ගාලවත් නැහැ ඒවා. මොනවද මේව ඇතුලේ තියෙන්නේ? අපේ මුතුන් මිත්තෝ ඇයි සමහර ගම් වලට සමහර නම් දැම්මේ? නේද? දිය තලාව, පිළිම තලාව නේද? ඔයලා බලන්න. කොස් ලන්ද, බොර ලන්ද, මා දම්පේ, මීපේ, දොම්පේ, හොරපේ, හල්පේ. ඔකම හල්පේ, මීපේ, දොම්පේ, නූපේ, දොම් හර පේ කියන්නේ ගහට. අපිත් මේ ළඟදී තමයි ඒවා දැනගත්තේ. මේ පරණ මිනිස්සු ඇයි මැණික් ගඟ, මහවැලි ගඟ නේද? කැලණි මල්වතු ඔය මේවා ඇයි දැම්මේ? හොයලා බලන්න. ඇයි ඔය කිව්වේ? ඇයි නදිය කිව්වේ? ඇයි ගඟ කිව්වේ? හේතු තියෙනවා. නිකන් දැම්මේ නෑ. People are very scientific. Traditional people are very scientific. They had many reasons. They know how to deal with the nature. They're very intelligent. They're very, very intelligent. Right? Now, international scientists, they say, we have to use the tool called cultural mapping. Indigenous knowledge. In future, we know that we will be having food shortage. The food sovereignty will be lost. I mean, there will be a huge problems in future. And we will have to serve foods more and more for future. Otherwise, we will be in a crisis. So we know that we have to protect foods. We know that you see this, if you look at these slides, the food sovereignty, ඒ කියන්නේ ආහාර ස්වාධිපත්තිය. ඒ කියන්නේ රටකට ආහාර ස්වාධිපත්තිය තියෙන්න ඕන. එතකොට when you want to protect the food security, you want to have intelligence taken from nature. How many varieties of foods we have? How are we going to protect them? How are we going to serve them for future? Right? So therefore, we have to understand them. Right? So then food security is very important. One of the important intelligence we have to develop. We have more than enough ocean resources. Ocean resources. Right? So then, how are we going to protect? We want to have not just knowledge, but we want to have intelligence. So then, we know that intelligence is a balanced sort of things. It's a balanced thing between our experience, our adaptation, our understanding, and also our simple life sometimes. Simple life. Right? So now we have 8 billion people. In another 100 years time, not 100, in 2020, in 2100, in another 40 years time, there will be 10 billion. Big amount. So if we don't have intelligence, if you don't know how to live harmonious with nature, if you don't know how to get the knowledge from nature, we will be in a trouble. So we have one good advantage, I would say that Sri Lanka is a country having a lot of natural resources. Our nature is very rich, whatever happened to our politics and our economy. Whatever goes wrong with our economy and the politics, our nature is very powerful. Our nature is very powerful. Our nature is more strong. Our biodiversity is more strong. Our plant ecology is more strong. Our animal ecology is more strong. We know ethnobiology, ethnohydrology, culture, water relationships. So intelligence is very much connected with nature, very much connected with the people, life of the people. I mean, I explained intelligence is connected not only with nature, even with the life of the people. But life of the people is connected with the nature. Now, for example, if you look at the life of Sri Lankans, why Sri Lankan people say some people are heat, some people are cold. Heaty foods, cold food. Sarahara, සීතාහාර. දැන් ගාල්ලයට බලමාලු සැර නැහැ. කුරුණෑගලය කියන බලමාලු සැරයි කියලා. ඒක බෙදාගත්තු විදිහක් තියෙනවා. නේද? තැඹිලි සමහර අයට සීතයි සමහර අයට නැහැ. මෝසම් වැසි. ඇයි ගෙදරක අපි ස්තෝප්පුවක් හදන්නේ? ඇයි වහලේ ස්ලෝප් එක අපි වැඩිපුර දාලා හදන්නේ? Monsoon rains. ඇයි ඔළුවට අපි ජටාවක් දාන්නේ? It's a nature. It's the nature that determines our behavior. It's the nature that determines our adaptations. කොහොමද ගොවියා කුඹුරත් එක්ක වැවත් එක්ක ගනුදෙනු කරන්නේ? කොහොමද දීවරයා මූදත් එක්ක ගනුදෙනු කරන්නේ? It's a nature that determine our behavior. We say ecological determinism. So therefore, we have to understand the intelligence does not come from the sky. Intelligence does not come from the books. Intelligence comes from the nature and the people, and also we learn through our experience. This is my argument. Thank you very much. Whether you enjoy or not, I enjoy. I'm a sociologist. I always try to promote public sociology. I want to change at least 10 people. More than giving them a degree, you need to change yourself, right? More than producing more and more books and theses and dissertations and keeping them in library, we want to change the life of the people. We want to bring some changes at the grassroots level. We have to do the things in local language, Sinhala and Tamil. Sorry, I am doing it in English, but we have to do it in local language as well as. So therefore, let's try to change something. Okay? So then, AI, modern device, modern technology are important, but they cannot produce intelligence, right? Intelligence perfectly coming from the interaction with the nature, interaction with the people, relationship with the nature. So we have to bring our children. අපි ඉස්සර පොඩි කාලේ කැලේ කොලේ ගහ යට වෙලේ කුඹුරේ දුවනකොට අපේ අම්මලා ගහලා එක්කන් ඇවිල්ලා අපිව කාමරේ දාලා පාඩම් කරපන් කිව්වා. දැන් ළමයි කාමරේ ඇතුලේ ඉන්නේ එළියට ගෙනියන එක අමාරුයි. So you have to give them a more interaction with nature. Okay? Thank you very much. And once again, Professor Ranjit and Sadeepa and Vasana, if you have any questions, we can discuss. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
So we have one question in the chat box.
They can ask any questions, no issue.
Okay.
In the chat box, can you read it?
So Sri Lanka is often cited as a country in South Asia with the highest literacy rate. We were also once a model for Singapore. However, we continue to pollute, disobey road rules, lack common sense, civility, or decency. What are your views on how to change this? How can we change the people of Sri Lanka to protect, value, and intelligently use nature?
Yeah, that is why we would say that now in the recent time also when the government opened a new
Thank you.
bus stop or bus
हाँ
terminal,
मैडम अरे मैडम थैंक यू मैडम
now still we know that because we want to have a very interactive people, and we have to give them a more moral education, because when you go through the intelligence is not only just book knowledge, right? You want to have a felt experience, real experience, like empirical realities. You know that in any field, any area, just because you learn something from others, or you get control yourself because of others' supervisions, you can't be an intelligent man. You have to have a good experience, and also you have to respect the culture, values, and norms, right? And also we know that for example, social harmony, the multiculturalism, and the gender equality, social justice, these all are a part of the things that we have to adapt as a important component of the intelligence. Okay? Any other questions you can directly ask? If you can raise your hands or whatever it is. I think we have a good number, like more than 375. And because it's a good forum, good platform, we can discuss. I kindly request all of you.
Sir, I have this one question.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Harry. I am an MPhil scholar for the environmental studies at the Columbia University.
Hmm.
So my question is that when we talk about indigenous and local knowledge systems, uh, while we incorporate these terms for the environmental conversations or environmental safety or protection, I think that every area has different local perspectives. For example, I come from a place, Kullu, Himachal. It is very geographical rich area.
Hmm.
And in our area, there is this particular tradition where we believe that cutting down of trees or cutting down of large amount of fauna is a sign of a good rainfall in that area. If it is not happening, it's like a cultural practice that has been going on in our local traditional tribe. As I come from indigenous tribals of the Gadhi. How do we generally stop these kind of back taboos or stigmas? Because we can only convince like 1%, 2%, but a large amount of community of tribals, they have this belief, and this is kind of superstition, not scientifically proved, but this is the legacy that has been keeping going in our tribe since so long. So how this local indigenous not only helps in protecting environment, sometimes it's also a curse, like for the environmental safety.
No, no. From where are you?
Sir, I'm from Kulo.
India.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, I think India is a different setup more than Sri Lanka. We know that they have tribal communities, and around 10% of the people are Adivasis, and they have a different. Very recently, I also visited the Bodo community in the Assam area. So now the unfortunate incident is not only India, even in Sri Lankan tribal people. Now they have been badly commercialized. they are under the influence of the consumer culture. Now, especially very recently, some of the, Aboriginal peoples in Sri Lanka, they demanded for a vehicle and modern facilities. So no longer some of them can be considered as the real genuine tribal communities sometimes. So they are being sometimes they are not naturally transfer or change themselves, they are being influenced by others to change. Now, for example, they are also in a difficult situation. Now, in Sri Lanka, for example, we do have many commercial forestries, commercial forestry. Now, you see in the early 60s and 70s, we had the teak industry, teak forestry. Then we had like a mahogany, then mango. Now we have Vallapatta. Now people introduce different industries like that. Now other thing is like for renewable energy. Now people are promoting solar energy. But unfortunately, in the dry zone, now these companies go and remove the forest trees and they put up solar energy projects. So then what would happen? Can you imagine? So therefore, under the changing globalization and commercialization projects, even some of the tribal communities become helpless sometimes because they are no longer having with the original spirit of tribal culture because they are having different things now. If you take Sri Lankan tribal community, we can say Vedda communities. Now their grandchildren are educated, they are graduates, they are having all the contacts and relationship with the normal modernized people. So then no longer they are interested in forest and forest ecology. This is the problem. Okay.
I have one quick question.
Yeah.
I would like to ask, like, when it comes to this, we talked about this intelligence. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, sure, we can hear.
So, like, can we say, like, the intelligence also comes with the discipline, discipline of the people living in a society? Because I'm one of your former students as well at the Colombo University, and
Yeah.
I'm currently based in Finland. So in the Finnish society, we consider this, the environment, biodiversity as a part of their actually national identity. They
Yeah.
actually very much concerned about this environment, animals, and everything. Like
Yeah.
in Sri Lanka, we have lots of resources, but I see a very, a big difference in how we do conservation in here in Finland and in Sri Lanka. Like here,
Yeah.
we don't have much of this biodiversity aspect
Yeah.
compared with Sri Lanka.
Mm.
But at the same time, they are doing much more, even in the government level, policy levels, like they do
Yeah.
much more things to, to look after the environment. Yeah,
Okay.
and such things.
No, thing is this, thank you very much for raising that question. People get the environmental, we'll say, attitude or concerns or discourse in three different ways, basically. The first way is like a scientific discourse, because one can get environmental knowledge or consciousness, we'll say consciousness, from the science. Now, for example, in the West, people don't kill an ant or they don't kill even a soil worm, because they consider it is a part of the nature, right? But in Sri Lanka, people don't kill the animal because of the religion sometimes, because religion says it is a sin. So scientific discourse, because science bring environmental consciousness. For example, when we were small, we don't want to protect snakes, but now we want to protect because of the scientific knowledge. The second one is legal discourse, right? In some schools, some families, sometimes the father is very tough. When our father is very tough, or when our school convent's head sister is very tough, so we are more concerned about not to drop waste here and there. So sometimes the law, order, norms, values that controls our environmental behavior. Not only individual behavior, even collective behavior. The last part is aesthetic environmentalism. The aesthetic, the wildness, the back to nature movements. Some people, they are not that concerned about either scientific discourse or legal discourse. They are more concerned about aesthetic discourse. I mean, they consider, oh, nature is very beautiful. We want to have a waterfall, a water font in the house. So people get the environmental consciousness one of these three ways. So unfortunately, some people, they don't get any of these background. So they don't have, I mean, that sense, because they are losing that sense day by day because of the poor scientific knowledge, or maybe poor sense, or maybe due to uh, one of these reasons. So that may be the reason. But in the West, people are very much, I mean, comfortable with the scientific discourse. Sometimes that is why when they have too much of animal going beyond the limit, they even kill. Now, in some countries, they kill camels or maybe fox. But if you want to have a wildlife balanced ecology, in Sri Lanka, sometimes you have to control some animals in a more scientific manner. Now, for example, people will misunderstand me. We have roughly 3 million stray dogs in our streets. I don't have proper evidence or data for that. According to some of the general arguments, 3 million stray dogs. You see, but some people say we have to control them. Some people say no, we have to be concerned about the animal rights. Then who concerned about the human rights, right? Because many people die by rabies, road accidents, right? So therefore, this is what you call intelligent. How we are going to manage or have a kind of a bridge between the theoretical reality and empirical reality. Thank you.
I think with the time limitation, we can move forward of this session.
Yeah.
A huge thank you for our distinguished resource person for that interesting and thought-provoking session. I would like to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to our remarkable resource person, Professor MTM Mahesh, for so generously sharing your knowledge, your passion, and your time with us this evening. Your insights have been truly. We also wish to extend our sincere appreciation to the entire team at gapHQ, whose dedication, vision, and hard work make evenings like this possible. Thank you for your tireless efforts behind the scenes. And of course, our deepest gratitude goes to every one of our participants for your participation, for your curiosity, and for your commitment for a more sustainable world. So the Nature Talk webinar series continues, and we warmly invite all of you to join us with the upcoming sessions as we keep exploring what nature can teach us. Webinar number 3 of this Nature Talks webinar series is being scheduled to conducted on 29th April 2026. So join with us for an interesting session under the title How Nature Gives Entrepreneurs a Winning Edge, conducted by Professor Rukmas Veerasinghe from University of Sri Jayawardhanapura and Dr. Kinkini Hemachandra from University of Huddersfield.
I
So
think Ms.
until we
Vasudha,
meet, let us carry the lessons of nature. Thank you all. Have a very good night.
Ms. Vasana, 1 minute, can you give me?
Yes, of course.
I think, Ms. Vasana, very sorry. I didn't notice there are some people from overseas. and even from different countries, but I mostly use Sri Lankan example. Very sorry if they had been, unable to understand some of the local example. Very sorry, I think. Thank you very much.